All right. Good evening, guys. It is Tuesday, August 5th. This is the regular Board of Commissioners meeting. I hereby call it to order. Tonight, for pledge and invocation, we'll be joined by retired Captain David Adams. I think he's retired already. I don't know. And Sergeant Cornett.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for allowing us to gather here. Thank you for allowing us to be in this amazing town. Please guide all of us. Allow us to look to you for guidance. Thank you for allowing us to have the honor and privilege to work with Captain Adams. Please guide him in his future endeavors. Please allow this town to honor you in our words and be wise with the money you have guided us to have, and be responsible in putting it in the right places you would have us put to help this town grow. Please allow us to always seek you above anything else. We love you, Jesus. Amen.
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 Thank you, Sergeant.
Don't clap yet. We got a whole show coming up. All right. So I've got more to say about this at the end, but we had our wonderful officers up here tonight doing that, and it's been a crazy week. And so a lot of them have joined us, and in case they don't make it till the end, let me just express my gratitude and how thankful I am to see that you guys are all still here. And we'll circle back to that, but if you had to leave, I wanted to have said that. All right, we have agenda. We have the agenda in front of us. Are there any amendments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda as written.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. It is approved. We have consent agenda, minutes, and a concert at the Depot December 12th. Any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. It is approved. All right, that went fast. So, David, we're going to need you back up here because we are going to do a proclamation in honor of Police Captain David Adams. All right. Is this thing on? All right. You ready for this? This is a proclamation in honor of Police Captain David Adams upon his retirement from the Town of Angier Police Department. Whereas the Town of Angier does desire to recognize and honor employees of the town for dedicated and distinguished contributions to the community, and whereas David Adams retired from the Town of Angier Police Department on July 31st, 2025, after a career spanning over 30 years of service. And whereas David Adams began his career in 1994 at Harnett Correctional, where he was promoted to sergeant in 2000. He joined the Harnett County Sheriff's Department in 2008, serving as a deputy sheriff and then detective crime scene investigator. He joined the Angier Police Department in 2018, where he served as a reserve officer, sergeant detective of crime scene investigations, investigations lieutenant, and most recently as police captain. I gotta take a breath. We're like halfway through. I might need a sip of water. We're gonna go for it. And whereas David Adams was certified in firearms, defense tactics, baton, and all other in-service topics while working at Harnett Correctional, he was a general instructor and an active member of the prison response team and squad leader, and continued to teach NCDOC service training through community colleges after being sworn in as deputy for Harnett County. And whereas the Town of Angier Board of Commissioners recognize the many contributions made by David Adams to the town of Angier and its citizens during his service. Now, therefore, I, Robert M. Usness, Sr., Mayor of the town of Angier, along with the Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim deepest appreciation to Captain David Adams for his distinguished service to the town of Angier. Furthermore, the Mayor and Town Board of the town of Angier, North Carolina, do hereby extend best wishes and happiness to Captain David Adams as he embarks on new adventures. That's it. Hold on, I have a plaque for you too. Let me grab the plaque. Let me sneak in. I gotta get him. He's got more presents.
Thank you, David. Appreciate you.
All right. That was a lot of appreciation. Thank you, Captain. All right, moving on. We do have public comment tonight, first meeting of the month. Anyone may speak on any issue. If you're here for a public hearing, please wait till we get to that agenda item. Before speaking, please state your name and address. We ask that you keep comments to 3 minutes so we can keep the meeting moving. And generally, we will not reply right away to a public comment, but we may direct you to a member of staff to help you out. We have 2 people tonight who have signed up. Mr. Chuck Carey is first on the list, and he left the topic blank, so it's a surprise.
Chuck Carey, 203 Blair Drive in Angier. I signed up mainly, I meant about the protocol, but I signed up in case I thought of something that needed to talk about.
Yeah. Well, you have 3
I had
minutes,
it in
so.
my back pocket,
All right.
just in case. So I got this floor, but really, I just kind of want to hear what's going on, with I know there's a new project coming up, a new development. And there's been other meetings when I didn't sign up, and I said, oh, shoot, I should have done it. So, as I say, I'm going to reserve my time, or I'm going to give it back or something, but
All right.
I'm appreciative of all you guys do, so
Well,
especially the captain there. So,
We could just print your name on here, Chuck, and,
yeah, just you
all right.
come up with something.
The subject is likes to talk.
All right, next we have Eric Julian. He also left his blank, but I feel like he's got something to say.
Thanks for the opportunity. Eric Julian, 1490 Benson Road. It's just real quick in relation to the Special Board of Commissioners meeting on July 8th. I have a couple questions for Commissioners Crisp and Hawley that relate to the Special Board of Commissioners meeting on 8 July. I don't necessarily expect these questions to be answered tonight, but would appreciate if you could address them at some point. Question number 1. Why was the meeting called to discuss something that was already voted on at the previous Board of Commissioners meeting just a couple days before? And also, why was the meeting scheduled with such short notice around a holiday weekend when the matter was not an emergency and could have waited until next Board of Commissioners meeting? It's not meant to rehash the issue, but just to get clarity and transparency for something where there's already 2 investigations going on surrounding the same issue that took place 6 months before. So just for transparency and clarity. So, thanks. Sure.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone else here who did not sign up who would like to make a public comment? All right, then we're going to move on. We have 2 public hearings tonight. Make sure I haven't skipped anything. Number 1 is a voluntary annexation petition submitted by BSY Properties. Jeff is going to introduce that one, and then I'll open a public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Tonight, we have a voluntary annexation request for 1.56 acres along Raleigh Street. You can see on the screen here, it's across the street from the Food Lion Shopping Center. This area is where the new commercial buildings are being built. This is Logan Court here. Part of that development is already in town, this back part here. And so we're just cleaning up the area there to have the whole entire commercial property to be in the town limits.
All right, I'll
Yes.
open the public hearing. Yeah, I was surprised to find that this was not already.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll probably see a lot of that here and there. Commercials is what we're shooting for
Absolutely.
right now. So for myself, at least, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do it. Does anyone have any questions for Jeff? Does anyone from the audience care to make a comment? All right, then I'll close the public hearing. And we could discuss further if you like, or we could go right to a motion.
Use your microphone, please.
I make a motion to accept the voluntary annexation petition as written in the agenda.
All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Next one, Jeff,
Thank you, board.
is rezoning application submitted by KB Homes of Raleigh, Durham.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. We do have a conditional zoning request submitted by KB Homes of Raleigh, Durham Incorporated for land located along Lipscomb Road. These are the three parcels here that comprise of around 41 acres. Let me just double check and get to the staff report here. .94 acres. The existing conditions on the property is vacant farmland. The access will be off Lipscomb Road. Surrounding land uses are low and medium density and farmland. Zoning compatibility, the surrounding area is currently zoned, and this parcel is currently zoned RA30. There is some R10 in the area and some R6 as well. Land use compatibility in the area for our current land use plan has the area designated as low density residential with some adjacent parcels being medium density residential as well. As I mentioned, this is a conditional zoning request, and the conditions are on the screen. There 1 through 11 is proposed by the applicant. The 12th one was added to the planning board whenever they heard this request at their July meeting. The planning board added a condition, and the developer agreed to that condition at that time. Essentially what the developer is requesting is to rezone the property from RA30 to essentially R10 lots. There'll be 93 single-family lots, 10,000 square feet will be the minimum lot size. Minimum lot width would be 60, and so forth, would be sort of mirroring an R10 designation or zoning district in our current land subdivision ordinance, zoning ordinance. There are a couple other conditions such as, amenities for open space. There was a traffic impact analysis that was completed, and it did have a condition or a recommendation for an improvement at 210 and Lipscomb Road, which would be adding a right turn lane there. And then some other conditions that the developer is placing on the property, covering gutter and sidewalks throughout the subdivision. And then the single-family homes will be constructed of fiber cement siding, and no two homes located side by side will have the same elevation or color combination. The planning board added a condition that the main entrance, Road A, and we'll show the illustrative here in a second, would have both a right turn lane and a left turn lane going out of the subdivision. So you're not stacking everybody behind each other. This is the illustrative of what potentially could come back to the town for a preliminary plat. Because tonight you're just approving zoning, not the preliminary plat. And you can see Road A here is the main road in, and the planning board wanted the condition to be in writing, but their illustrative does have both a right and a left turn lane out. But the planning board did ask for that condition to be added. Again, 93 lots, lots of open space, both passive and active, is being proposed. And I can answer any questions. Developers here. Just open the public.
All right. With that, I'll open the public hearing. Steve, you had a question?
The road, it looks like there's cul-de-sac on the roads that end or terminate within the development, except for this one road on this right-hand side,
This right here.
right there. Is that connected to another road that leads off of the property?
It will connect, what our ordinances ask for, and most ordinances, Harnett County being one, and Wake County, they would ask for interconnectivity between projects, and that's what we're gonna be seeing with this street stub and the street stub here
Okay.
and here. So
So not current connections, future connections.
future connections, yes. So whenever when and if these parcels develop, these roads will continue on to the next project.
Now, would they be required to have the ability for emergency vehicles to get down in there and be able to turn around?
So we haven't went through that review yet, but yes, there would be, I would anticipate a emergency comment to be that there needs to be some sort of turnaround, especially on this one.
And it's gotta be big enough for a fire engine to
Right.
do a U-turn.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, we have that kind of stuff built into the process.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah.
Really, this is
Yeah. The
For the
fire
rezoning.
marshal's
Yeah.
office does review all of our plans.
So I looked right for the numbers on this, which is units per acre, and it's 2.22, which is pretty
Correct.
low. It's
Yeah.
all single family.
Right.
One of the conditions is hardy cement siding, different facades on each house. There's lots of green space. Can you tell me, Jeff, are there any of the conditions proposed here that would fall short of a typical R10 zoning?
No, sir. This would be an R10 subdivision and would meet all the requirements
Okay.
of the ordinances. I think in the open space, they're actually proposing more than we would
Mhm.
be requiring. But from a lot dimensional, lot size, it's essentially an R10 subdivision.
But anything different about the buffers or anything like that? I'm always suspicious. This
No.
looks really good to me.
It does.
So why would it not be an R10?
I think, I don't know, you might have to ask the applicant that question.
Well, that's a good question.
Was this
Oh.
a application that was withdrawn recently or a different one?
No, that was something
Okay.
else. I think what we've been working on this, as the applicant will say, for a number of years,
Yeah.
couple of years at least. And the idea of a conditional zoning and placing these types of conditions, although it would be an R10 subdivision, they felt like that was giving you all in the town a little bit more comfort to say, okay, we agree with that. And these will be forever conditions until there's another rezoning that takes place. So if future boards change the ordinance that says R10 subdivision could do townhomes or something like that, this one won't be able to do that. It'll be conditioned to this set of conditions that they're proposing. Yeah, that might be a good question for them, but I believe it's just to make you all in the town feel like a little bit more comfortable with this project.
Do we have water and store hookup down that way?
They will be connecting to town utilities. We haven't finalized all those details, but that is the plan for this project.
Water and sewer?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any of you guys have any questions for the applicant? I think they're here tonight.
Thank you for being amenable to the planning board's recommendations. We look to them as our first line of defense. So I appreciate that they were, making requests and that you all were making those concessions. Lipscomb Road is a very dangerous intersection at 210, if you ask me. So I'm glad to see some road improvement going in there as well.
All right. Is there anyone in the audience tonight who has a question or a comment? This is a public hearing. This would be your opportunity to do so. Mr. Carey, come join us if you don't mind and speak into that microphone. Or did you just remember what you were going to say at the...
I was just trying to do the math, but I didn't want to turn my phone on. Chuck Carey, 203 Blair Drive, you know that. But anyways, to see what 93 homes times 10,000 square feet would be, it's 930,000 square feet. Because I was worried about what does that leave. So 40 acres, rough numbers, and it's 42,550 square feet to an acre, right? So you get about 1,600,000 square feet. So I just wanted to, so that leaves like 600,000 square feet of open space, right?
Yeah, proposed 12.15 acres of open space proposed.
Yeah.
Which is greater than the open space required, which is 8.39 acres in the R10 district.
Okay.
Yeah.
That answers that.
And it's
Thank you.
10,000 square foot minimum on the lot size too. So the lots could be larger, but
Right.
Also
I
smaller.
just seen what was left if every one of those lots used the full 10,000 and they actually developed 93 lots, how close we would be to the number. Thanks.
thank you, sir. Anyone else?
The setback,
No.
I'll allow it, but he has to speak into the microphone.
What are you going to do in the darker green area?
That's a good question.
So the darker green
Who are you
area,
and where do you live?
the darker green areas are those naturally insensitive environmental areas, wetlands, water bodies, things like that. The lighter green areas and so that would be your passive open space, going to be left natural. And then the green, lighter green open space is where you're going to have active trails, sports courts, things like that.
That's a good question.
I noticed on the setback between an R30 and a CZR30, the front setback is 20 compared to 35 on the R30. Are they because they're going to be larger homes? And the rear setback is 15 compared to 25.
So the current setbacks would be those R30
Right.
setbacks. What the applicant is proposing is essentially to utilize R10 setbacks. So if you had a 10,000 square foot subdivision, R10 subdivision, these are the setbacks that we would be requiring.
And I think it scales properly to a what would be a 30,000 square foot lot to a lot potentially as little as a third of that. So, all right, any more questions? I'm going to close the public hearing, and we may discuss. It looks really good on paper to me.
I'll do.
Well, if there's no discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we accept the request from KB Homes with the addition of the entrance and exits for the turn lanes that was not written in here that you had mentioned.
Okay? Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you, guys. All right, old business, number 1. We still have you here, Jeff. Community Development Advisory Board.
Back to back.
I know. They probably did that on purpose.
Hope so.
It's Jeff.
I did want to provide an update to you all on the Community Development Advisory Board. I know there was some thought of what are we doing with this board, and Derek kind of talked to you guys at some meetings in the past about maybe dissolving the board. That's not on our agenda to dissolve the board. We do need a purpose and a role for this board. That board sort of lost its role and purpose whenever the town stopped being a Main Street community, and further lost its sort of direction when the town went away from a development community position. So, you know, a coordinator position, and we've transitioned that position to a marketing and events position. So they're back under me. I'm going to shepherd them through a new evolution. So we met last Monday. There was only 4 members. We currently have 8 members. So it was, and you have to have 5 to have a quorum. So it's not an official meeting. But at the meeting, we sort of went over some administrative things. It was myself, Liz, and Derek. And we had a good meeting and sort of went through the administrative things that needs to happen. Need to elect a chair, vice chair, secretary, somebody to take minutes and things like that, because we're going to keep moving forward with this board. At our next meeting, hopefully we'll have quorum, and those things will be taken care of. After some administrative items, we talked about, well, what does the board want to do? And I sort of polled each one, why did you want to be on this board? And there was various responses. Some folks are passionate about downtown and historic buildings and preservation and beautification. And, you know, some people are passionate about bringing new businesses to town and keeping and retaining the businesses that we have. So I got the sense from that meeting that these folks are passionate about the town of Angier, and we should put them to work and keep them moving in the right direction. It is hard when you don't have a quorum to have official meetings, but hopefully that's not going to be the case moving forward. We talked about projects that they would like to do in the future, and come back at our next meeting and start talking about those. There's still going to be the board that will hear facade grants. There's money in the budget for facade grants. So how do we promote that? How do we get folks to participate in the facade grants? Potentially expanding the area where facade grants can be awarded. You know, there's talk of pedestrian wayfinding signs. That's in our pedestrian plan. That'll be coming to you all next month. So they're going to come back to the meeting, to me, and we're going to start talking about ideas, projects, and initiatives that we can move forward with, and probably report back to you all to help us sort of flesh some of those top priority projects out. What I don't want to get lost now that marketing and events is sort of in the Parks and Rec department is that this board will continue to volunteer at events. It's part of the bylaws of being a community development advisory board member is promotion of the town and downtown itself. So we would like to continue to, you know, volunteer. And we currently have a board member that's on the community advisory board and the Parks and Rec board. So having a liaison that's on both boards, it's a good thing. So, you know, Chuck, who is on both boards, can report back to either board on things that both boards would need to know from each other. That would probably be a good arrangement moving forward to have somebody on both boards, so we can know when events are coming up and how to volunteer and really how to help out, you know, maybe with ideas and things like that. So I got, it was a good meeting. We met for an hour last week. We're going to continue to meet monthly and just flesh out what the Community Advisory Board will do for the town. But I did get the impression from those members that were there that they're passionate about Anger. They want to serve, and we should never turn people away that want to serve.
Say it again.
Because it's very difficult to find folks who have the time to vote to the town. So we're going to work with this board, and we're going to be, we can utilize this board for a number of things that could be the starting point for projects that move up to planning board and or to you all, as we go through the years.
Yeah.
Is that next meeting already scheduled?
Yes, sir. It'll
Yeah.
be August 25th.
So I've been waiting for you to come up here and say this in an official capacity, so you didn't back out last minute.
No.
But I was told that you approached Derek yourself after you heard about some of our concerns and said, "Hey, I will take that board." So this was not pushed onto your plate or dropped in your lap.
Right.
You reached out
Yeah.
to make it happen. So I appreciate that, and I'm sure
So much.
that group does too. So
Well,
now you're stuck because you said it.
Well, again, they're a good group, and they do want to serve the
Yeah.
town, and we're going to put them to work however we need to,
Right.
and we're going to figure that out.
Good.
But they're a good group.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate your creative
Thank you.
solution. Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate
Is
it.
the
report
time and
back.
place, is the time and place listed on the website?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's still fourth Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. All right.
Here,
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Old
Gentlemen.
business number 2,
gentleman out here had a question, if you can.
sir.
Come on up, Bobby.
Hey,
Good evening, everyone. Bobby Green, 133 South Cross Street. Quick question about the board they just put together. When they say volunteering, does that mean all over the town? And what type of
Jeff would have to
volunteering?
answer what the bylaws say specifically about. That's a good question.
Yeah, so the Community Advisory Board is for the entire town. In the past, when it was a Main Street community, that board was a Main Street downtown only committee or, board. But I think it was 2021, the town revised the bylaws and said, no, we're going to be a Community Development Advisory Board, which should include all of Anger. So thinking a little bit outside of downtown is going to be something that we're going to try to focus on.
And if that's what you're thinking, Mr. Green, come to a meeting, because I know, the more people are at the table, the better.
Yeah.
And we're, what Jeff said, not turning nobody away.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Thank you. All right, Derek has an update on
Yeah,
Ting.
and I will reiterate, it was Jeff's idea, and he can't back out now, I will say that.
I know. It's locked in.
And all of those meetings are open to the public.
yeah.
So we welcome, even if you're not a member of that advisory board, we welcome you to attend any meetings that we have. We try to advertise on the website, on social media as much as we can. So like Jeff said, we try really hard not to turn away any volunteers if they want to, get involved. The one thing that I did come away from in that meeting is the 4 people that were here care about the town. And clearly the people who are here tonight care about the town. So the more people we can get involved that care about the town, the better off the town will be. So just want to say that for the record. So
Say that again.
Yep. So anyway, I'll be real brief about the Ting update. The representative Kara Chandasi was here at the last meeting. I reached back out to her last week to get an update from her, and basically they've reached out to all of the customers that had signed up, or they're in the process of reaching out to all the customers and giving them some options about what they want to do. They're not going to be able to provide any additional services at this time, but they are reaching out to all the customers that had signed up or pre-signed up or whatever, and giving them options on how to proceed further. If you are one of the customers that have signed up and they haven't reached out to you, please contact me. You can call me or email me, and I will put you in touch with the right person that you need to get in contact with to make sure that happens. Per our original agreement that you guys voted for whenever this all went down a year or so ago, they have promised us that they will be providing free internet service at our Parks and Rec building at 249 East William Street and at our Public Works building at 594 Campbell Street. And they're in the process of getting their project manager in touch with Austin and Brandon on that. They have also said that they will provide internet service to our newly constructed police station whenever that is finished. So we're shaking the tree a little bit, and we're trying to get some results from them. They are in the process of trying to get some of these unpaid invoices for damages completed as well. They're in contact with Cecilia Stevenson, our utility billing supervisor, and Dalton Johnson, who's our second in charge of Public Works. And they're back and forth in communication trying to get that resolved as soon as possible. We're hoping here in the next month to 2 months that all of those invoices are paid or in the process of getting paid. But that's pretty much the update, and hopefully I'll have some dates on when we'll be getting internet service at those two buildings at the September meeting.
I'm good. Oh, go ahead.
Will we draw up an understanding of what their responsibilities and stuff are so that they can't back out, they can't change what they're doing in the future, so we know what to expect from them?
Well, it's my understanding we have a MOU with them already. Is that correct, Dan? Original, and we're trying to hold them to that.
Which they're not able to fulfill currently.
You're right, and we're trying to hold them to some semblance of that. You know.
I'm concerned about dividing our eggs. You know, half of town being on one internet provider and the other half being not. And then additionally, if they decide they up and can't provide internet service, how big of a hassle will that be for staff to have to switch everything back over?
Well, I think once we're connected, because they do have like 1,600 customers in town that are connected, and from what I understand, they provide pretty good service once you get connected. The problem is getting connected. I would think once we get connected, since those buildings are separate, it doesn't affect our day-to-day operations. Whatever internet service we have or fiber optic service we have is not going to affect our day-to-day operations with Public Works or Parks and Rec or the new police station. The good news is they'll be involved from the very beginning with with Chief Thompson about what exactly we want for the new police station from a fiber optic standpoint. So that's good news, I think. I mean, it's better than nothing.
I wasn't here for that meeting, obviously. What was the reason for them not be able to handle the rest of the town? Is it staffing issue? Is it a material issue?
They really didn't say, Jim. They kind of danced around that subject. Our guess is they're probably out of money to expand, and they're waiting to get more money. That's pure speculation. Then once they get more money, they'll expand more. But I think they just
A hard stop.
Yes, that's kind of, and I know they've had some issues, according to some of the people that we've been back and forth with. They've had some disagreements or some falling outs with upper management as well. So, you know, I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but it seems like it may have, because it kind of coincides with the hard stop.
Well, I'm just disappointed that we're on the, getting the short end of the stick on this deal.
Looking forward for that.
Yes, I think a lot of citizens were, honestly. So, but we're trying to get something out of them. That's, we're trying to get something out of it. So that was.
So you said they're going to be reaching out to people that.
Yes, and like I said, if they have not reached out to you and you signed up for a service and you paid a deposit, please get in contact with me and I'll get you in touch with the right people. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, old business number 3. Lee is going to speak to us about some more details on these Broad Street traffic studies.
Hope everyone's doing well. With the increase in traffic congestion throughout town and for safety concerns, the town commissioners have requested an estimate for an engineered traffic study for both the area of Broad Street east between William Street and Littleton Street and the possible need for a four-way stop at the intersection of Broad Street East and Littleton Street there at Thanks a Latte. We have reached out to Withers and Ravenel and MS Consultants, and we were directed to reach out to Kittleson and Associates for the traffic study quotes. Financial impact, the first quote, which is the all-way stop evaluation there on Broad Street and Littleton Street. That quote came in, is estimated to be roughly about $5,000. The second phase, which is Broad Street, the discussion of possible one-way conversion there on Broad Street between Williams Street and Littleton Street. This study is estimated to be roughly around $80,000. Now, once we get some kind of more direction, at which time I will be glad to try to find other providers for this as well and try to get some more competitive quotes. But that's where we're at right this second.
A lot of money for just an estimate.
Yeah. If you guys are all right with it, let's split phase 1 and 2, because I think one of them is a lot simpler than the other one. So phase 1 being the four-way stop traffic study, it's $5,000.
I have a suggestion. I don't know if it's what it's worth, because the biggest thing is crossing for pedestrians, correct? Is that the biggest problem we're running
It's really
into?
the cars.
It's the cars. It's
and
the
the cars.
visibility to
I know the
cross over Broad.
visibility is, but I was one of the things I was thinking maybe doing away possibly 2 parking spots at either end and extending the walkway and like a
Well, I think that either way, we would need this traffic study to help give us some guidance on it. I don't think we want to lose a lot of parking.
No, I know we're going to be expanding the parking over there
Yeah.
across right next door there. So that's why I was asking, thinking doing
Yeah.
something like that just to give it more visibility. Because a lot of times cars park there and you can't really see past
Yeah.
the cars. So maybe just doing away with that one parking spot on either side. Let people be able to see
Yeah.
a lot more clearer. Just a thought I was just throwing out.
Some people on Broad treat Broad as a stop. They stop.
For safety.
And some people don't. And you don't ever know who's going to stop and who's not until
Yeah, since we put
we're
the
out there in the
crosswalks-
intersection.
Yeah.
Since we added the crosswalks, a lot of people get confused in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point of it
have
is
to-
that none of us up here are qualified to tell you if the parking spots or the four-way stop is the right solution. So that is quite literally the purpose of a study like this. It's for a professional engineering firm to suggest to us what they would do in our situation. So I think for now, just for tonight, the only thing we need to decide on this one is, are we ready to spend $5,000 on the phase 1 traffic study for that intersection?
Well, have we decided to split them to 2 different phases? Because they were motioned as one bill.
We can motion them. We could do phase 1 independently and discuss phase 2 separately, I believe, right? It's not all one. It's 2 separate quotes, right? Okay.
Motion to approve phase 1 always stop control evaluation.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? 2-1, it passes. All right, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
So $80,000 about blew me out. When I read it, I was like, this math ain't math and what the kids say. I obviously have a lot to say tonight about that.
No cap, Miss
So,
Harmon.
so the one intersection being $5,000, I'm like, okay, so let me look at this proposal. The proposal for the 2 blocks obviously will be a little bit more involved because we're talking about changing the traffic pattern and all that, and I understand that. They're talking about studying 10 intersections for this phase 2 of that study. So $5,000 an intersection, which is where my brain goes because that's what they said for the 1, equates to $50,000. So where is the other 30,000? If that's truly, you know, what is necessary to make it all happen. My email to you was like, is this really, like, is this one person that we asked? Did we ask three? Because what $80,000 sounds like to me is we don't want to do this. Like, that's what that sounds like to me. And so I'm very curious if we create a little bit more competition, if we can't make this, because this is more than just safety. This is more than just traffic. I spoke with a major stakeholder in downtown business-wise this week. She's frustrated because of, you know, lack of initiative with downtown sort of efforts to increase parking. If we want to fill all of our buildings downtown, parking is one of the biggest holdups for that. We have several buildings sitting empty right now. Either the business left because they couldn't get people to come in the store because of parking, or the new businesses won't come because they know what to look for. I'm not saying one way is the answer. My goal with this was just to get a better understanding of what we can do to improve. At $80,000, I'm very hesitant to have given, you know, to give that to just one. I'm not ready to count this out though, you know, in terms of just like, well, $80,000, forget it. I'm not there. And I can understand the hesitation for 80, because that means we're taking it away from another project, and we have so much going on, and I don't want to delay something else for this. So I'm saying all this so you can understand. So I'm getting it out. It's frustrating though. It's frustrating.
I have two questions.
And hold on one second, just to speak on that. I was a little set back when we reached out to our on-call engineers, and they sent me somewhere completely different. So
Because that's not the person we have on is on call.
Correct. So I don't mind one bit reaching out and trying to find out who else we can get involved in this. And I think we should, even with just 5,000, I think we should still reach out and see if somebody else can do it cheaper.
I think we're all in sticker shock on that 80,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
when
is a
we
big
saw
job.
it, it was like, oh no. You know, we weren't expecting anything close to that.
But
so.
I will reach out to more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr.
No, that's okay. The traffic study for the four-way stop, how binding is that? We spend $5,000 and they tell us, no, we can't have a four-way stop, but you can have crosswalk poles and a light similar to what we've got up here at the John Deere crossing or just before John Deere. Are we bound in any way to do those things? Or can we say we're just not doing anything?
I think
We're paying them to give us a suggestion,
we're paying them to.
a professional
Correct.
opinion
But
on what we
if they
should
give us
do.
a suggestion that is something that I think everybody is on the same page, if it's something that can bring safety, yes, I feel like, I think that we should do what they say. But
our goal is to not have to remove any parking spots, not lose any spot at all, and put a four-way stop there.
I haven't heard anything.
But
They have to
talking
tell
them
us.
about the parking,
Okay.
parking spots.
But
That was
we've,
just something I threw
we've had
out.
suggestions
Yeah.
that we could move a couple parking spots and open up a clearance so that there would be a a line of sight for oncoming traffic before a person has to step out into
Correct.
the traffic, which would solve the safety issue.
And I have
at a zero
personally,
cost.
myself and the town manager, we have personally sat out there,
Mhm.
and we've watched for long periods of time.
Mhm.
We went during the busiest portion in the mornings when school first gets out, and then we went in the afternoons when most of our congestion comes through town.
We staked out and thanks a latte.
Yes,
It was
we-
horrible, wasn't
yes,
it?
we did.
I'm
We
sorry.
did.
Thank you, guys.
And there's
I love Vicky and them, so they're good, great people. But
there is a standard or it's not a law or a rule, I don't think, but when you have a flow of traffic that is released by a stoplight, that like we have here on our main road, on Broad Street going south. If you go a short distance to a stop sign and you've got a lot of cross traffic, so you have to stop, somebody else goes, possibly two cars go, maybe turns, and then you get to go, that traffic can get backed up into this intersection. Once this intersection gets backed up and through that, then that going out that way, and this intersection gets backed up. So in reality, putting a four-way stop that close to that red light could be a problem for the other two major intersections we have in town, which could be solved by moving a few parking spaces and not spending the $5,000.
Steve, we're doing a traffic study that will tell us exactly what
we
your
need to know.
concerns are, if they will be a concern.
Well, just give me half that. Give me the 25 and I'll do it. But if it's going to get the same answer,
we don't know what
that
answer it's going to
we-
give us, Steve.
but we don't know what answer it's going to give us, but we have the common sense to know what does happen in a traffic pattern. We can see that if we make a clear line of sight, there's less likely for a person to step out in front of the street. If we do nothing, it is as it is. If we do something to make it better, we can always come back and do a traffic study for $5,000 and try to make it better if that does not work. But we've done nothing.
Well, for
so
tonight, we've
far.
already approved the phase one, and so we're on the phase 2 one right now, which is 10 other intersections. So,
Fortunately for us, this is one spoke in the wheel of government. This is how government operates. You have to have somebody with a degree to tell you that you can do what you would think is common sense. You know, it's frustrating, but they study all these moving parts and pieces to make sure that, which in any busy time of day, both lights in town are backed up. So
yeah.
I don't know what the answer to that problem is quite yet, but it's more than just the pedestrian, because really the crashes that happen there
Is the vehicular.
as regularly as they do.
Do we have a lot of crashes there?
At Jimmy's retirement, one happened
Three
while we were
cars.
out there at the depot.
We had one there.
I can't see, and I have a huge truck. I just start rolling really slow in there, and
Just pray.
well, yeah.
They'll see you.
But anyway, so back to phase 2. It's a lot of money, and so I would be in support of at least shopping that out. But for me, that study, this whole downtown area. So our downtown, what I consider to be downtown, and probably most of us, is 210 and Broad Street is downtown. We have very little control of 210 and what happens on 210. We have all the control on Broad Street, and so with the bypass coming, downtown business is a big concern that we keep it there, it doesn't die off. We don't want to be in the Cars movie and leave everybody behind. We don't, we need parking. We've talked about expanding, adding a crosswalk or a handicap ramp. There's all kinds of things, even if we didn't one-way it, if we tried to find places for more parking or crosswalks or anything, this study, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but this study would cover us for any future improvements to Broad Street downtown. And while it's expensive, it is the necessary first step to any project that we want to do on Broad Street. I think even if it was just the handicap ramp with a crosswalk, we would get a $5,000 traffic study for that, as long as we make sure we're getting a competitive rate for what it costs. In my mind, there's no other way to move forward with any kind of improvements in downtown. I mean, this is the first hurdle. And again, it doesn't commit us to doing any kind of work. It's the first, okay, here's what we've learned. Here's what could improve. Here's what you could do. And maybe some of our ideas work and maybe some of them don't, or maybe we get some new ones. But there's no other way for us to go, in my mind. I really do wish it didn't cost so much. And thank you. We're going to work on making sure we get the best price on that one. I don't see a way that we don't do it myself. Maybe not tonight. You know, I'd be happy to wait to see what some of the prices come back so that we can make a decision with all that information handy.
Correct. And I would love to get some estimates of some of the engineered estimates as far as travel flow once the bypass is
Yeah.
in place.
Mhm.
Part of that study was estimating 2035, you know, with growth, with the builds, without continuing to build, which we know the building is going to continue. But
So it's I would suggest maybe if you guys are okay with it that we could table this one till we get some more numbers, and then weigh if this is the right time to do it. Really, ultimately. Are you all right with that, Steve?
Tabling the second phase, yes.
Yeah, till we get some more numbers back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just want to also bring up, I know we've talked about it and it's in the work that we are going to be adding parking spots downtown, about 68 or 78 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember how many. you're
Yeah,
talking about
Brandon's in
the-
the process of we're going to do like a more formalized, just past William Street there on Broad Street, a more
The grass
formalized
lot.
parking area where it's not just a hodgepodge of parking. Going to put gravel in, and put parking bumpers in there, and Brandon's in the process of getting quotes for that right now. So that should be done sooner rather than later.
So my direction is to try to get other quotes and to start moving forward with the first phase.
Yep.
All right.
yeah, because I'm not happy with just saying no to phase 2. I'd like to, you know,
Somebody else out there has to have
Yeah.
a little bit deeper.
I think we all would be happy to just
they're
wait and
listening
see.
to us, so it might be more expensive.
Thank y'all.
Thank you for all that work you
Thank
did
you.
to get this far.
Appreciate you, Chief.
All right, let me flip my paper. We are on to new business. Kristen is going to speak to us about the credit card fee policy.
Mayor and Commissioners, a couple of years ago, the board in place at that time approved a convenience fee for all credit card transactions. And just recently, we have moved over our point of sale card system, which is any payment that is taken in Town Hall to First Citizens. Thanks to Jean. And we believe that the reason the convenience fee was put in place was because the card processing company that we are using currently had about an average of a 10% fee.
Wow.
Wow.
Over the past 6 months or so, the town has been paying a crazy amount of fees.
$80,000 worth now.
Yes. I mean,
It's a lot.
we're pushing it.
Yeah.
So
There's our traffic study. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
So moving over to First Citizens, we have decreased that fee to about 3%. We just went live on Friday, so we won't get actual numbers until, the next couple of months. But we are recommending to take the 3% convenience fee away from people that come into Town Hall to make their payments.
Excellent.
So basically, you're going to be charging just anybody that calls in,
Right. Yeah. Anyone that calls in or
goes online.
comes. Well, no, we want to keep it for online because it syncs with our accounting system, and the processor that we use right now was vetted for that, and so it integrates with the system. So all we have to do is download or import a file, and it syncs up with the utility billing system. So it's nice to have administratively. So. But yes, we're recommending to the board to stop that convenience fee for point of sale payments.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve discontinuing the credit card transaction fee for point of sale in office payments.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. It's
Thank you for
unanimous.
your diligence.
Thank you. All right. New business number 2, police station financing resolution.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Tonight, you have before you a resolution to consider approving a financing agreement and other related documents, including a deed of trust. This is the last formal board action standing between you and breaking ground on a new police station. These agreements set the terms for the financing, lay out certain restrictions and provisions related to tax status, and authorize staff to complete the necessary documents to get you over the finish line.
All right. Any questions?
Pretty cut and dry to me.
You guys ready to build this police station?
Absolutely.
Maybe?
Let's do it.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the resolution as presented.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Been a long time coming.
Yeah. Too long.
All right. Last and not least, Mr. Gene Joslin is going to join us up here. We could bring you the microphone, sir, if you...
You get slower each time we see you.
Lord. That's pretty good. Well, thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Do you even live here?
I know he's new and everything. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. And I bring in thanking the town for allowing. I feel like it's just been years ago that we did it. It was just in June or the end of May, June. There we had put on Bike Fest. So I want to thank the town for allowing us to do that. At the same time, thank the police department for being part of that as well, and Public Works because they help us put it together. It's great that we can work back and forth with each other and get it all handled. This year was a great year, even though we had a lot of rain. We enjoyed the rain. I had to bring the canoe out one night. We raised $25,000 for the pediatric brain tumor itself, and we raised enough extra money that with what we had with them is we're going to put some money to Make a Child Smile Foundation. Opened up that again, where you're taking care of some of the people in this community.
Great.
And then also MMIA. We're going to make a donation to them, and also some wreaths for some gravesites. So we've expanded. So you think about we're close to about $30,000 to put back into the community.
Great.
And give the people for kids that really need it. It's amazing what they have to go through, and you start to see the pictures and start to talk to the families. It will get to your heart. So we want to thank the town for allowing us for doing it that year. But at the same time, I'm looking to see if we can get this done for next year, because next year is 25 years we've been doing this. 20 years it will be for me. That's what I'm saying. It's slow for me getting up off that chair. I've been here long enough in this community for 20 years being part of it. So we're looking to do it. I've submitted the plans, and we want to try to do exactly like we did this year. We paid a certain portion of the fee, was like $1,600. On top of that, we pay for all the police officers to be here that day. Some were extra just to help us out, and we appreciate that. So we're looking to be able to do it for next year, and if I can plan it, because it is 25 years, we're really pushing out with that. And trying to promote it even more. And the pediatric brain tumor, it's interesting. We did 25,000. That doesn't mean it doesn't stop there. Is because we took on the Ride for Kids. There's other people out there raising money that flows to our position at the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation as well. So we are growing. I think we had 150 bikes, close to that, for this year versus almost just about 100 from the previous year. We keep growing, and people are coming from Greensboro, Greenville, all over to be in part of this, and Fayetteville. So I'm very proud of that and feel kind of awesome that Andrew can put that together, because we're bringing people from outside the community to see what our community really has. We have a lot of great businesses in town. We try to promote them as much as possible if they're part of it. So I'm asking if we can continue to do this for next year. Like I said, 20 years. I didn't put in 20 years just to say, we're done with it, but I did it because it's for the kids and it's for our community. So, and we have a great group of people that help us out. So I'm going to ask that for that. And at the same time, on the same note, I know I'm doing this for Andrew. I want to thank the police department. You guys don't know. I've been a part of this community for 19 years, going on 20, and being a business in here. They're awesome that I can just pick up the phone and have them come in. Lee, thank you. We actually they actually helped catch a impersonator who was stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout, not even Raleigh. They couldn't catch him in Raleigh. They couldn't catch him anywhere else. We caught him here. And that's because of the police department.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure they understand that. And I apologize. I have to say that because I've been here long enough to know them, but they actually caught someone that could even get deeper. So thank you. But I'm asking if we can do it for next year.
Yeah, I think you answered, the first question I always have on these large events is, how's it different from last year? And you've answered that one, I think.
I did, but I forgot one thing.
Uh-oh, never mind. Take it back.
We have someone that's part of the group that ran the numbers. Even though we had a lighter year, the impact to Anger was over $300,000 for one, and that was based on one day's calculation. We didn't include the rest of the time in there because we wanted a kind of a rough number, and it was $300,000 of impact to this community.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money.
And not only that, events like Crepe Myrtle and this one, there's always a plus that hopefully we can benefit, economically the town too. But for me, it's always been, how do we get 3,000 people out and together and building community and not have it cost us anything? So that's cool. So thank you. You and Crepe Myrtle is another big one. Some of the biggest and best events in town are not run by the town. You guys didn't know that already. So Bike Fest is one of those big ones.
It's all people from the community.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I will say, I don't remember if this is the second or third time that you stood up in front of me, at least for this one. I do remember the first time you kind of walked up and you were like, hey, we want to do Bike Fest again. Yeah. And I made you come back.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Thank you. Very complete. I love it. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I'd like to make the motion that we go ahead and approve it for 2026.
All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous.
Thank
Congrats
you guys
on 25
so much.
years.
25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
Thank you.
All right. We have all the staff reports are part of the agenda, just like they are every month. Are there any staff members that want to elaborate? That's all right. You worked very hard on making them already, so thank you. We'll go on to my mayor's one, my fun part for the meeting. Birthdays. Staff birthdays this month. Matthew Ennis, Water and Sewer Department. James Walker, Water and Sewer Department. Braden Grant, Water and Sewer Department, and Sergeant Cornett, Andrew Police Department. They might invite you, I don't know if he's still here, to the Water and Sewer birthday party. I hope that they do. Pass that on to them. Anniversaries. Lieutenant Helms, Andrew Police Department, has been with us for 5 years this month. Dalton Johnson, Water and Sewer, 7 years this month. And Crystal Pope, 1 year, Water Sewer Department. So thank you guys for all your dedication. Events. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. there's a Citizens Town Hall that will be at the Wildflower Cottage Bookstore. August 9th, there's a ribbon cutting for Chateau de Flores. And I don't know if I said that right. I meant to ask you, Courtney. Is that close enough? Okay. I'm Norwegian, not French. I'm sorry. And that is going to be at 104 Poke Lake Road in Anger. Again, August 9th, 2:30 p.m. August 15th at noon, there's a ribbon cutting for the Bewitched Sandwich Truck. That'll be in the Town of Anger parking lot. August 21st, a ribbon cutting for Chafella's Catering and Events. And that is right down the street here at 254 North Broad Street East. On the 23rd, there's two big things happening. The Town of Anger is going to have their community yard sale again that morning on the depot grounds. And then Bobby Green and Building and Growing Success they're going to do the neighborhood cleanup again. The Church Street cleanup is what I call it. That's going to be on Saturday, August 23rd at 9 a.m. We're going to meet at Cutts Chapel Church. I did that last year. It was productive, and you guys should come out there. It's not that bad. It's usually pretty nice weather. Walk around, collect stuff, a little bit of fellowship, and so thank you, sir, for organizing that. So I did, I came in on the red eye at 7 a.m. this morning from a vacation that my family really needed. So forgive me if I'm tired or off. But a lot of stuff happened in town in the last week. And I will say, let me start off by saying that, I had a vacation without a lot of connection on purpose, but I still heard about things that happened. And I had full trust and confidence in staff and the police department. I didn't call anybody. I knew they had it under control. But they, catching up with them during the day today, let me know how big of a deal all this stuff was. We'll start with a list of other agencies that have helped us over the last week. The Andrew Black River Fire Department, of course, Harnett County Sheriff's Office, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the ATF, Harnett County Emergency Management, Harnett County Emergency Medical Services, City of Raleigh PD Bomb Squad, the American Red Cross, and Andrew Baptist Church. That is a lot. That's a mouthful, and I won't joke about it because that's a lot of organizations that were called in to err on the side of caution, and we're happy to jump in and help us through that. Of course, we also want to thank all of town staff because stuff like this requires some involvement from every department, and so they all stepped up. And lastly, of course, the Andrew Police Department, who jumped on these things quickly, really without even knowing what they were stepping into. I wrote this down so I wouldn't bumble it. The Andrew Police Department and Chief Thompson handled both very difficult situations flawlessly, while being organized, efficient, calm, and well-trained on how to handle these very difficult situations. So very special thanks to them to be our first line
Absolutely.
of defense and handle it for us. So I wanted to say that. Thank you, guys. All the other guys left. That's why I did the thing at the beginning, but I hope they see this or you pass that on to them. But that's not just from me. That's from the community. So thank you. I don't have anything else to add. Anyone else?
I just got one thing to add. Again, thank you for your well put together team for everything you guys do every day for this town. And thank you. Just to give an update on and a lot of people been asking questions. What's going on in front of Jack Marley Park is where the new Veterans Memorial is going. The foundation is down. We're just waiting for the statues and some other things to get come in. But everything's moving along, and we're hoping within the next 3 months it should be finished. So we'll keep you up to date when things start coming in for that.
Awesome. Steve, did you have
Absolutely.
something?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to just give a very, very, very brief report. The reason our colleague LaRue is not here today, she had a surgery. She is recovering. She'll be back next time. She said thank you to everyone for her prayers, for her quick healing. And also one of our former mayors and former commissioners, Mr. Lou Weatherspoon, is in a very, very serious situation in the hospital. And he did not give me permission to give any details, but I'm sure that he would love to have the prayers of the town of Angier supporting him now, just as we were when he was a mayor and commissioner. And if everyone would just add him to the list of prayers, him and his wife, I think is well deserved, and it will be very well appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
We all talking tonight because you know I have something to say. So weather has broken. Praise the Lord. I've been frequenting the park a little bit more. I told Derek before we started tonight, the park looks so good. The new rock that's down Willow, the Abilities Playground is almost complete. In the off season, the grass grows and everything is so happy when it's not being used so much. And I just wanted y'all to know how wonderful it is. I had the opportunity to attend Harnett Regional Water's first Stakeholders Appreciation Luncheon. Interesting how much water Harnett County doles out all around us. They have so many projects on the horizon, expansion projects, stakeholders in the room from Fayetteville, from Linden, from Holly Springs and Wake County. Lots of people who depend on Harnett Regional Water for their water, and we are very fortunate as the town of Angier to be a part of that. I learned also that we were one of the founding fathers of Harnett Regional Water, and we have a very forward-thinking water process where some municipalities and counties are having to catch up with the forward thinking that we had in having a regional water instead of just individual pots everywhere. So that was really nice. The director, Tommy Burns, was very brief but informative with some bullet points, and it was nice to gather around water. So anyway, that's all I got.
All right, well, before we close it, I have one thing to add, and Derek told me to add it, and I wrote it down, but I didn't say it. Next month's meeting, because of the Labor Day holiday, will not be on Tuesday. It will be moved to Wednesday, September 3rd. So if you show up here Tuesday and we're not here, I mean, the Gord Museum is still here. You can enjoy it, but our meeting will be on Wednesday the 3rd, just for next month, and then back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right. With that, somebody motion us out of here.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. We are adjourned. Thank you, guys.